The drums of Okijo village had not yet begun to beat when a rumor started crawling across the earth like a living shadow. Some said it came from the palm forest, others swore it drifted from the riverbank where spirits like to linger at dawn, but all versions carried the same terrifying whisper: she is coming. Not just any she, the mother they had all forgotten, the mother her own son intended to disgrace before the eyes of the world, the mother whose name the villagers once spoke only in pity, and yet, she was coming in something none of them could believe. This is the story of Martens, the son who tried to bury his own roots, and the woman whose dignity refused to go, a story of pride, shame, secret swept under 20 years of silence, and a wedding that became a battleground of fate. It begins on the morning Okijo held its breath. Everyone in the village agreed it would be the grandest wedding of the year, perhaps of the decade. Martens, the boy who once hawked oranges along Okijo's dusty roads, had risen from poverty like a whirlwind and re-emerged as a Lagos-based millionaire, tall, sharp-featured, and always dressed in sleek imported suits. He was the definition of success to many young boys who admired him. What they did not know was that success had cost him something precious. His mother, Mama Martens, called Mama by the villagers, had raised her only child alone after his father left the world. She had sowed vegetables to send him to school, walked miles barefoot to pay his fees, gone hungry more nights than she could count so he could eat, but once Martens tasted wealth, he scrubbed every trace of his old life from his memory. He stopped picking her calls, stopped sending money, even told his fiancée Philomena and her influential family that his mother had went under the ground long ago. To them, he crafted a glamorous backstory, a childhood of privilege, a father who had been a businessman, a mother who passed away and left him a modest inheritance. He did not expect anyone to verify such details. After all, Okijo village was far, forgotten, and silent, but fate has a way of dragging the truth back into the light. 2 weeks before the wedding, Martens made a decision that would spark the storm. Sitting in his Lekki penthouse, sipping imported whiskey, he laughed as his friend Williams hyped the upcoming ceremony. "Bro, when people see your convoy, them go crazy," Williams said. "Groomsmen in G-Wagons, bridesmaids in Lexus SUVs. Who born you?" Martens smiled. That was the problem. He did not want anyone to remember who truly born him. His in-laws, especially Chief Madu, despised anything associated with poverty. If the truth ever surfaced, the wedding would collapse, but deep down, a wicked idea took root. What if Martens began slowly? What if I invite my mother just to show the world how far I've come? Williams blinked. To show? Martens chuckled coldly. To show that the past can't touch me. To prove she can never embarrass me. I just sit her in the back, dress her in one cheap wrapper, and let everyone know I rose despite shackles. Williams hesitated. But bro, that woman suffered for you. I didn't tell you this for moral lessons, Martens snapped. I'm inviting her. And she will understand the place I put her. So he called her, after 2 years of silence, Mama. I'm getting married, I expect you there. The line was quiet, he could almost hear her heartbeat. My son, will you send transport money? She asked softly. No, he replied. Find your way. Then he ended the call. He imagined her arriving on a crowded bus, stepping down with dusty feet, her worn wrapper rolled at her waist. He imagined whispers, laughter, humiliation. He smiled, but far away in Okijo, something else was happening. Mama held the phone long after the call ended. Not because she was hurt but because she was suspicious. Her son's voice held pride, arrogance, and something darker something she had sensed growing in him long ago. Still, a mother's heart bends before it breaks. She whispered a prayer, then she walked into her hut and opened a small wooden box she had not touched in 20 years. Inside lay a golden bracelet, thick, old, heavy, engraved with symbols she had once believed belonged only to legends, a gift from a man who had long gone not only in the earth but in silence, her son's father. He had not been the poor trader people assumed. He had been much more, a prince in exile, a man with unimaginable wealth hidden behind tragedy. He left before he could reveal his kingdom to his son, but Mama remembered everything, especially the key hidden inside the bracelet. She removed it, wrapped it in cloth, and waited until dusk. Then she left the village, not on foot, not by bus, but in a private SUV belonging to the man who had been her husband's most loyal guard. He had waited 20 years for this day. Mama, he said with deep respect. It is time. Your son is about to learn who he truly is. Mama sighed. Let the spirits judge what must happen. Loud music filled the air, photographers crowded the venue, a sprawling white event center decorated with gold and crystal. Lagos socialites strutted around like peacocks. Martins arrived in a convoy so long people thought a governor had come. He stepped out of his Rolls Royce wearing an agbada so embroidered with gold it glittered like a crown. The guests were happy. Money is talking today. Someone shouted. Chief Madu approached him, beaming. My son, this wedding will shake Lagos. Martins grinned. Everything was perfect, except one thing. His mother was nowhere to be found. Maybe the bus broke down, he said to himself with satisfaction. Philomena, his bride, walked toward him in a gown sparkling like morning dew. She kissed his cheek. Baby, are you ready? Yes, he said proudly. Let's start. But fate had other plans. Just as the officiating pastor stepped forward to begin the ceremony, a sound cut through the music, a deep, roaring engine, the kind you hear long before you see it. People stopped talking. Some stood on chairs, others rushed toward the gates. 3 black vehicles, massive, armored, gleaming, rode into the compound. At the center was a Tesla Cybertruck car, but not an ordinary one. It was coated with obsidian black plating. Its wheels carried the emblem of a forgotten kingdom. Its windows were tinted gold, and sitting in the back, dressed in earth-colored lace with coral beads, was a woman no one recognized, until she stepped out, and the world went silent. Her wrapper shimmered, her headgear rested like a crown. She looked nothing like the poor village woman Martins remembered. The crowd gasped, who is she? Is she a diplomat? She looks royal. Chief Madu asked, which dignitary did we forget to invite? Martin's heart stuttered. No, he breathed. No, no, no. But it was too late. Mama walked toward him, each step echoing with a power he had never seen in her. Her bodyguards flanked her like shadows. When she reached the front, she stopped. Good morning, my son, she said. The entire venue erupted with noise. That is his mother. She came in a Tesla Cybertruck. But he said she was gone. I thought he came from wealth. What is going on here? Philomena's father turned to him sharply. You said your parents left the world years ago. Martin's face drained of color. Mama, what are you doing? He hissed. She looked at him calmly. You invited me. And I came. But where did you get those cars? These clothes? Who paid for this? You did, she replied. He blinked. I what? You came from a king, my son. A king who left you a kingdom you never cared to know. Your father's wealth has been waiting. And today, the world will know the truth. Chief Madu looked horrified. Philomena looked confused. Martins looked like the ground should swallow him. Before he could respond, one of the armored guards stepped forward, holding a sealed scroll bearing the royal emblem. He bowed slightly to Mama. Your Majesty, he said to her. Then he turned to Martins and announced, by decree of the Council of the Kingdom, you are the rightful heir to the throne of your late father, King Nelson III. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. People dropped their drinks, the band stopped playing, the videographers zoomed their cameras. Mama continued, you abandoned your roots, but your roots did not abandon you. You tried to shame me today, but destiny has chosen to shame your pride instead. Martin stepped back. Mama, I didn't know, you never asked, she replied. Philomena's father spoke first. This wedding cannot continue. Chief Madu backed. You lied about your background, you deceived us. But I am a prince, Martin said, not the one we expected, Chief Madu snapped. We wanted someone polished, someone without the stain of poverty behind him. Mama's eyes hardened. Stain. The only stain here is your arrogance. Gasped again. Philomena stepped away from Martin slowly. I don't even know who you are. But she was already backing away into her father's arms. The wedding was collapsing right in front of him. Hundreds of guests said, he lied about his mother. Imagine wanting to disgrace the woman who raised him. He doesn't deserve her. And then came the final blow. Mama turned to leave, her voice calm, her steps steady, but her words cut like a blade. A man who is ashamed of the womb that bore him is not ready for a crown or a marriage. She began walking toward the Cybertruck again. The guards followed, the crowd parted, but Martin sank to his knees. Mama, please forgive me. Don't leave me. She paused. The entire world waited for her answer. She turned slowly, her eyes shining with controlled pain. I am your mother. Forgiveness is easy. She paused, but trust, honor, those you must earn. He crawled to her feet. Sobbing, his Agbada, once a symbol of pride, now dragged uselessly on the ground. Mama, give me another chance. She reached down and touched his cheek lightly. My son, you will have a chance. But not today. Today, you will taste the lesson pride brings. She stepped into the Tesla Cybertruck and closed the door. The engines growled. The convoy rode out of the wedding compound, dust rising like judgment behind them, and Martens watched her leave, realizing he had lost everything. For now, the wedding was cancelled. Philomena's family dissolved the engagement. Guests scattered with gossip. Social media exploded with videos of the humiliation. But the story did not end there. Days later, Martens traveled alone to the kingdom. He found his mother in the palace of his ancestors. Not a poor woman, not a forgotten widow, but a queen who had chosen simplicity over power for the sake of love. He knelt before her, humbled. Mama, teach me. This time, she smiled. Stand, my son. Your journey begins now. And so, the boy who rejected his roots learned to wear a crown the right way, through humility, wisdom, and devotion. But the world would never forget the day a poor mother arrived in a Tesla Cybertruck and turned shame into glory.